Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Bashem Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them and taught us this truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and in sincerity. I'm the brother Yashawan back with another update lesson. All right, a war update. And we're going to continue on this war type footing. All right. Because war and rumors of war equates to report on the war, all right? So we're going to read Habakkuk, 2nd chapter down, 1 through 3. I will stand upon my watch. That's what we're doing. That's what the war report is. And set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Okay? And we're running right now. All right? The marathon that we're almost at the end of. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak, and it's speaking right now. And not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. All right? All right, so let's watch some videos here. Little update, because I'm not the only one making these videos now. Now everybody sees that the third woe, right, is ramping up crazy out there. And, you know, I started doing this daily thing about a week, maybe 2 weeks ago now, right? Because this thing is ramping up. All right, so let's get a couple of quick ones. Start right here. The big news is that whatever is going on at the Temple Mount, right, the Al-Aqsa Mosque, some skirmishes started like last Friday, then the rockets and stuff. So this could be, you know, the straw that broke the camel's back. All right, you got the least of the flock, right, about to start this war in earnest, all right? So let's look at this. And this is Secret Files 333, one of my favorite little war update channels, because all of the videos are like 2 minutes long, all right? This one is named 21 Palestinians Killed in Israeli Raids on Gaza Strip, May 11th, that's today, okay? And they're always up to date, okay? That's the thing about this channel, is they're giving you moment by moment news of the war that's going on, right? And everywhere, not just in one region, because the next video has to do with Babylon the Great and their part in the war. So they're bringing it all together. And then after this channel, Secret Files 333, I found another channel that basically does the same thing. And we'll get to that video here in a minute. Okay, here we
go. At least 21 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli raids on the Gaza Strip, according to the Palestinian Health Ministry, after Hamas launched rocket attacks on Israel.
Okay, so, and let me say this. This is the latest, all right? This was put up less than an hour ago, okay? Our time, so it's at least, how many hours is it over there? It's probably dark over there right now, okay? What is it, 12 hours? You know, even more than that, I have to do the exact conversion, but they're into the next day over there already when the sun sets, because they're so far ahead of us. All right, by the time it hits the West Coast, what time is it over there? All right, so if it's dark over there right now, they're firing, and a lot of these videos that they're putting up have nothing to do with what's actually going on. They're just giving you a visual. But the information I believe, is solid, because what happens is later on in the mainstream media, they say the same thing. It just comes out here first, and they're reporting on it accurately very early, so you get a greater picture of what's going on, probably more truth than what they're spinning on the mainstream news channels. All right, so it's actually a good source of information. So
Earlier, groups in the Gaza Strip have been firing rockets on Israel without stopping for 10 hours, the Israel Defense Forces (IDF) said. Since 6 p.m., terrorist groups in Gaza have been firing rockets at Israeli civilians. Non-stop. The time is now 4 a.m. That's 10 hours of rocket attacks, the IDF said on Twitter. Earlier, radical Palestinian movement Hamas said that Israel has until 6 p.m. to withdraw soldiers from the areas of the Al-Aqsa Mosque and Sheikh Jarrah neighborhood in East Jerusalem. After that, about 150 rockets were fired from the Gaza Strip on Israel. Dozens of them were intercepted by the Iron Dome missile defense system. Later, the military wing of Hamas, the Al-Qassam brigades, gave Israel 2 more hours to pull out its soldiers from the Al-Aqsa Mosque area, threatening to retaliate. The European Union urged the parties to the Palestinian-Israeli conflict to immediately stop the outbreak of violence in the Gaza Strip and East Jerusalem, and also called the rocket attacks on the Israeli civilian population unacceptable, the European External Action Service (EEAS) said in a statement. Earlier reports said more than 500 Palestinians were injured on Monday in clashes with Israeli police in Jerusalem. Casualties among the population of the Gaza Strip after a strike from Israel were also reported. Clashes between Palestinians and Israelis have been ongoing for several days.
okay, so what's going on? What's going on here, right? Is of course Israel's flexing their muscles and doing what they normally do, but to be getting that kind of blowback means that the Palestinians, if you will, or their allies or whoever, they're flexing hard too. So this could be, you know, uh, uh, what they call crossing the Rubicon, meaning the point of no return. All right, which could be the title of this video. All right, we could be crossing the Rubicon right here. All right, and the reason why would be because the Palestinians have enough firepower to sustain themselves. They have been fortified, if you will, by their allies, which would be Iran, Russia, China. All right, it appears as though they have fortified uh, their allies with what they need to sustain themselves in a prolonged conflict. All right, and I'm speculating when I say that, but all right, we're watching. What are we doing? We're standing on the watch. Okay, all right, and this could be the appointed time. All right, why? Because it's speaking. The prophecies are speaking. All right, so uh, this could be right where everything just spirals out of control because everything is in place right now. All right, we got through the Pesach, right, which is a sign, and this thing just started kicking up, right, until this moment, and it's spiraling. All right, is it gonna simmer down or is it gonna boil over? All right, right now it's looking like boil over. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna keep our eyes on it and continue to watch and report on it. Rumors of war. All right, let's watch this one. This one goes into U.S. military ship fires 30 warning shots in encounter with Iranian ships, letting you know, okay? All right. Letting you know who is allied with who. America is allied with Israel, okay? Now, aren't they supposed to be going to the negotiation table in the nuclear arms talks over there with Iran? No. All right? They're firing warning shots. Okay? Out there in the Middle East waters. Okay? It says U.S. military ship fires 30 warning shots after encounter with Iranian vessels. A U.S. Coast Guard ship fired about 30 warning shots after 13 vessels from Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps came close to it and other American Navy vessels in the Straits of. What is here's a question. Oh, is this Australia? Oh no, a U.S. Coast Guard. What the fuck? Excuse my French. Is a U.S. Coast Guard ship doing in the Straits of Hormuz? By implication, the name of the ship, Coast Guard, that they're supposed to be patrolling the coast of the United States. What are they doing in the Straits of Hormuz? Okay. Hey, it's all hands on deck. All right. Monday. Today is Tuesday. This is the second time within the last month that U.S. military vessels have had to fire warning shots because of what they said was unsafe behavior by, hey, the muscle flexing is going to move beyond muscle flexing to live fire, okay? Now, they might use the same language, okay, in this. So let's see what they say. So, hey, this thing is about to go live, all right? They're about to go live. Everything is in its place. The Most High, let's get this real quick. This is Joel 3, Salakia. Joel 3 and 2. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yahweh Shaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Okay, so that's clearly what we see here. All right. You got Iran fighting against Babylon the Great. Okay. And you got the least of the flock drawn out the Palestinians, the Chinese, the Iranian, the Persians, and the Medes. All right. And this thing is about to get cracking. So let's watch this. Salah.
U.S. military ship fires 30 warning shots after encounter with Iranian vessels. A U.S. Coast Guard ship fired about 30 warning shots after 13 vessels from Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy, IRGCN, came close to it and other American Navy vessels in the Strait of Hormuz, the Pentagon said on Monday. This is the second time within the last month that U.S. military vessels have had to fire warning shots because of what they said was unsafe behavior by Iranian vessels in the region, after a relative lull in such interactions over the past year. Pentagon spokesman John Kirby said the warning shots were fired after the Iranian fast boats came as close as 150 yards, 450 feet, of 6 U.S. military vessels, including the USS Monterey, that were escorting the guided missile submarine Georgia. The U.S. Coast Guard cutter Maui fired the warning shots from a .50 caliber machine gun before the Iranian vessels left, Kirby said. In April, a U.S. military ship fired warning shots after 3 vessels from IRGCN came close to it and another American patrol boat in the Gulf. The latest incident comes as world powers and Iran seek to speed up efforts to bring Washington and Tehran back into compliance with the 2015 nuclear accord. U.S. officials returned to Vienna last week for a 4th round of indirect talks with Iran on how to resume compliance with the deal, which former U.S. President Donald Trump abandoned in 2018, prompting Iran to begin violating its terms about a year later.
Okay, so the way it looks, there ain't going to be no negotiations. All right, it's going to go from warning shots to sinking vessels, and then it's going to escalate from there. All right, so let's go to this other, this new site that I found. Okay, it's called Deep Journal, and let's see. Let's just go over this right here. Let me see. Actually, I want to go back to. I don't think I posted this yesterday. Let's go back to the heavy rocket attack. Okay. I think I watched this independently. I haven't posted anything from this yet. So let's watch this.
Hi, guys.
Slovakia. Okay, so this is Deep Journal, May 10th, which was yesterday. Breaking news. Heavy rocket attacks started in Israel. Israel is starting heavy airstrike. Okay, and we just saw that on a different channel, but let's watch this and see how accurately they're reporting, because this is major news, right? What's going on? This is Ramadan, right? And of course, Israel is knowing that they shouldn't be doing nothing on their holy time, right? Because you don't want somebody attacking you on your so-called Sabbath, Shabbat, right? Whenever you have it, we know that you're not keeping it correctly. But anyway, why would you do that when you don't want that done to you?
Dear listeners, welcome to the Deep Journal channel. By subscribing to our channel before moving on to our video, you can be instantly informed about the last news and comments.
The latest news, okay, in this ongoing war that is about to escalate exponentially.
The events that started with the attack of the Israeli forces on the Palestinians who came to Masjid al-Aqsa to perform the Taraweeh prayer on May 8th ignite a new war. There are very critical hours in Israel. While sirens are ringing in many cities in Israel, many rockets are fired from Gaza to Jerusalem. The Iron Dome air defense system responds to the rockets fired. Images of explosions in many regions in Israel were also shared on local social media accounts. It has been reported that 6 rockets were fired from the Gaza Strip to West Jerusalem in the city of Beit Shams. Hamas claimed responsibility for the attack. With the launch of rockets from the Gaza Strip to West Jerusalem and the city of Beit Shams in the central part of Israel, sirens called to land in Israel's shelters. The Israeli parliament, Knesset, was evacuated. Israeli lawmakers were removed from the Knesset and taken to shelters. Al-Qassam brigades said in a statement, "Our missiles are a message that the enemy should understand well. If you do not leave the Masjid al-Aqsa and Sheikh Sarah and release the Palestinians you arrested until..."
All right, so, I mean, this is pretty inclusive, right? They're showing, and giving verbal reports. So this is good, all right? But you should be able to see that the Most High, what does he mean? He says his determination is to gather, right? Meaning he's going to put the Spirit on both sides to say, you know what, fuck that. We're going to do this. That's what is going to cause the gathering, all right?
1800, wait for our reply. He had used his expressions. It is stated that 3 children died as a result of Israel's UAV attack on Gaza. Afterwards, it was reported that the second rocket wave started from Gaza to Israel. While many rockets are launched into Israel, the people in Israel are evacuated to shelters. Israeli air defense systems also respond to rockets fired from Gaza. In the statement made by the Israeli officials, "We are going through critical hours. Anything can happen at any moment." Expressions were used. Later, the Israeli Air Force launched an airstrike on the Gaza Strip. In addition, Israel ordered the entire army to be ready. While it was feared that the clashes would turn into an all-out war, it was learned that the Israeli military vehicle was hit as a result of the fire opened from the Gaza border. DW correspondent Tanya Kramer was live on air Jerusalem when the sirens went off and explosions were heard in the city. "I can hear now there was some kind of impact," she told DW, adding that it was not immediately clear who or what was responsible. 3 children were killed Monday in an Israeli strike in the Gaza Strip, Palestinian media reported. in an apparent Israeli response to rocket fire at the Jerusalem area and southern Israel. The Israeli military confirmed at least 7 rockets were launched at Jerusalem. One was intercepted by the Iron Dome air defense system, and another hit a home on the outskirts of the city, causing damage. A 49-year-old man was lightly wounded by a shrapnel in the southern city of Dera. Meanwhile, an anti-tank missile was fired from northern Gaza Strip toward Israel, the army said, lightly wounding 1 person. The Islamic Jihad military wing claimed responsibility for it. Police also broke up a contentious Jewish march, moments after it began in Jerusalem. In southern Israel, authorities called on residents of Gaza border communities to remain at home and near bomb shelters until further notice. The Israeli military said an anti-tank missile was shot towards Israel from the Gaza Strip. The military said 7 rockets have been shot so far from Gaza, with most of them landing in open areas. As part of the emergency state in the area surrounding the Gaza border, trains between Ashkelon and Beersheba have come to a temporary halt. Some roads were blocked in the said parameter, and the Zekum beach was shut. The military also said it was suspending for a day a major drill in order to focus efforts on preparing for a possible escalation. Israel's armed forces began on Sunday their biggest exercise in 30 years, codenamed Chariots of Fire.
Chariots of what? You see what these gutter rats are doing? All right? You can blaspheme the Holy Spirit right into your annihilation. All right? Let's watch a little bit more of this and we'll go, because there's more left, but we don't have to go through it all. You get the idea, all right? Hey, things are ramping up. When you look in Deep Journal is bringing out, a whole lot of information, letting you know, hey, this might be the crossing of the Rubicon. All right? A little more.
But following a situational assessment, Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Aviv Kohavi decided to suspend the exercise for the coming day and has instructed forces to focus all efforts on preparation.
There we go. Preparation of what?
And readiness for escalation scenarios, a military statement said.
Okay, so they called off the war games and said, hey, we need to get ready. This could be real. This could go hot. Right? Because they were basically rehearsing, right? And shit started getting out of control. They started firing back, both sides. So they, okay, let's stop the game plan. We might have to do this for real. And what is that? The Most High is hardening the hearts of the kings. The Most High is hardening Bibi's heart. Okay? And saying, I don't care about them. We finna kill some kids. We finna kill some civilians. All right? We're gonna bring the pain. All right? All right, let's get some precepts and we'll go ahead and close. This is Isaiah 66 and 16. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead. All right? In the valley of Yehoshaphat will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. All right? Well, the Most High is pleading. He's hardening the hearts of the pharaohs and the kings, all right, the ones that are running the show in their prospective spot. All right, let's go to 3. Oh, let's see if I can do this. Joel 16, let's see. Did we read that? Let's lock it. 12. Yeah. This is Joel 3 and 12. let the heathen be weakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Right? Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. Hey, you see how the precepts are speaking? Salakia, the prophecies. All right, the prophecies are speaking. Right, multitudes, multitudes in the valley. Everybody is about to converge on that area because it has began. We have crossed the Rubicon. All right, and our fingers are crossed. The men of the Lord are like, this is it. It's going down. All right. All right, so with that, I hope that the elect were edified. We're going to continue on with these updates daily until this thing calms all the way down to a standstill, and it doesn't look like that's about to happen. So I hope that the elect were edified, and with that, we're going to say shalom.